All right, this might actually be a pretty interesting forum post. I haven't read this yet. This is just a forum post titled New Player Perspective. And I think one of the most important things you can do as a veteran player and like a long-term player of the game is keep in touch and understand what the mass player base and the average player thinks, because that's how you keep the game successful. That's how you keep it going. Casual players and, you know, your average player who just plays the storylines and quits, or even plays once, like those players are so important. They keep our game alive. They keep the economy alive. They keep interest, and hopefully we can convert as many of those newer casual players to hardcore, you know, veterans as possible. But it's not going to be, you know, the cup of tea for everybody, and that's okay, right? So let's go ahead and read through. This is from Zendaya on the PokeMMO forums. Hey trainers, Jim. I've not read through this, so maybe it's just a troll, but hopefully it's actually a good little story experience. Hey trainers, gym leaders, and champions. I used to play Pokemon back when there was the only option to play in Fire Leaf Green. Okay, back in 2013, I guess pre-2015. Now with the immense amount of content in the game, true, I'd choose to start anew, and I had no idea what my old account credentials were. Fair. With that new player experience and now having to completed the Elite Four in all 5 regions, okay, I believe that I have some insight to how it is to be a new player in Pokemon. This is exactly what you want. This is the exact kind of player you want. Unironically, the exact, like, you want a player like this who played back in played the old game, came back, you know, this is exactly the type of new player experience we want. Okay. Both on the side of what is easy to go through and what is hard to go through for a new player. All right, level caps. Personally speaking, it took me a couple of hours of playtime before I even realized this was a thing. Yeah, super fair. 4 badges in Hoenn to be exact. I wish they made that a little more. I wish they made it more clear that there were level caps. Which after I decided to switch regions, as I got curious as to what caps in the different regions were, I found out the level cap after 8 gyms in each region was different. That is true, which is awkward for new players to learn. So I set out to do all the badges in all regions without hitting the level cap of the lowest cap of each, the lowest region. So they wanted to do all the storylines simultaneously. So then run through all the Elite Fours, which is what I did. And now after 83 hours of playtime, I finished that. Congratulations. Nice job. 236k Pokeyen too. Huge pog. Account creation. They did this in 12 days, which is also sick. 83 hours in 12 days. This person's gaming. This is not a light. This is not even, this is not a light work player. Okay. Starting region. As a follow-up above, I did have game knowledge of level caps beforehand, before selecting a certain region, or had I had the knowledge, okay, I would naturally have started with Johto, really, to be more efficient. I think Johto is the hardest region to start with. I think it is the worst region for new players to start with. I always say start with your favorite region, but Johto is really, really hard. It's the hardest region in the game, in my opinion. It has the easiest Elite Four, but it has 2 boss fights. The Gyarados boss fight and the Hoa boss fight are extremely difficult for new players, unless you really prep around them with like a Discharge Mon for Gyarados and a Rock Slide Mon for Hoa, and even multiple of them, right? That makes sense. Yeah. Hardest but has lowest level caps. Yeah. In my belief, it would be beneficial for the game to tell you about level caps and max cap before you start the game / region. I super agree. I would love a like sign in each starting town, like Pallet Town, that just explained more things to new players. Especially when new players are in their first run-throughs. Absolutely. NPC AI difficulty. Again, I personally like the storylines are more challenging, and because of the AI difficulty, the story takes longer, and you don't just run through it headlessly. However, if a casual player decides to start a run on Pokemon, finds the game they know aren't as easy as they remember, this could potentially just cause them to leave the game. Yep, this is super fair. In my belief, there could be an option before the difficulty level. Having it be locked that the Elite Four has been beaten. Not everyone's a game to play to be a challenge. Sometimes it just needs to be chill. I think PokeMMO's difficulty is honestly... I've been very frustrated at the Pokemon storyline at times. But also with 5 gens of Pokemon, now it's easier than ever because now we have more Pokemon, like Crocodile and stuff. I think the challenge is totally fair. Also with access to a GTL, I feel like if you think a little bit, or like... put a little more effort. You cannot really, if you play PokeMMO like traditional Pokemon games, you will have a hard time. But if you just like EV train a little bit, or like buy one good Pokemon off the GTL for like 4K at the 4th gym badge, like you're gonna, it's tough. You have this thing of like making the storylines trivial versus making them a little challenging. I think it's actually that. I think the storyline balancing is quite good. I wouldn't want you to be able to select the difficulty, especially in a multiplayer game. The problem with being able to select the difficulty is that Well, okay. The only way they could implement a difficulty selection would be if the Pokeyen rewards you got by doing the storyline were different, right? That would be kind of interesting. But even then, could that be abused to make Pokeyen? What if the Pokeyen per hour was fine? Like, imagine you could play through the storylines on hard mode, right? And you could like bring over your Porygon Z from a different account and whatever, and like have it training link EV trained to level 20, etc., etc. But even doing that, maybe the Pokeyen you made from doing storyline runs is like 200k to 250k per hour. That's honestly super fair. I think that's super honestly cool. So like the I was instinctively against the difficulty level for a playthrough. I guess this just kind of comes from prestiging as well. I'd love to see you be able to prestige. I've talked about the ability to prestige storylines forever and how cool that would be for speedrunners, for people who want more of a challenge, like the idea of doing a storyline over again and getting more rewards from it. I think it's interesting. That's probably true. You have to be really careful with Pokeyen per hour. You're not wrong, Cav, because just the idea of making alts inherently ups your Pokeyen per hour so drastically in the future because of events and getting like multiple alphas and stuff like that. You're not wrong. Like you don't want doing storyline runs to be too good Pokeyen per hour because it will become the best money making method in the game, and it has been historically. Back in like 2014, it was the best, was to make alt accounts and go get like rock slide TMs and tutors. Sometimes it just needs to be chill. I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't want to compare it to Dark Souls. It's not like Dark Souls difficulty, but I think PokeMMO's at a good difficulty. I wouldn't want it to be any easier personally. I think you can make it easier by choice, by selecting what Pokemon you use and by how much effort you want to put in. Okay. Quality of life improvements. In my opinion, there's a couple of things that we probably include: quality of life, clarity of the level caps. I super agree. An in-game FAQ answering things like what's a Pheno. There is an in-game FAQ, but it's not very clear. And there's like nothing. The problem is like the in-game FAQ has like nothing to do with gameplay elements, right? Like also the FAQ is like never updated, like ever. This thing has not barely been updated since I've been playing the game. Like it's really bad. Like the FAQ mentions the games in like alpha. Like this is not important. Yeah, this is not a good FAQ. The FAQ is very, very bad. What's a Pheno? What's an alpha? What are swarms? Yeah, I super agree. Thankfully they could at least Google these nowadays, you know, wink wink, but yeah. Splitting the chat window. So for example, I can have global chat on the side screen and team chat on the other. Yeah, that'd be, dude, one of the most under-critiqued parts of PokeMMO is how archaic the chat system is. The chat system is actually so outdated, it's crazy. That is spitting facts. You are totally correct. The chat system is wildly outdated. A feature directly tracking your current slump. Yes, please. Into a walkthrough. I would love this because I get stuck. And lost. If you're like halfway into a storyline and you take a break and you come back, finding out where you were previously is a pain in the butt. Honestly, I like the idea of a progress meter, like a quest bar at the top during a storyline. As said above, generally speaking, I don't have any major problems with these things. I love the challenging AI. It messed me up more times than I can count. I do not have a problem with finding information on Google. However, with the system as it is right now, I firmly believe the game is losing on... Oh, for sure. To be fair, any game ever is going to be potentially losing on... Because it always could be improved, right? Like, literally always could be improved. But yeah, I like this. I think this is quite good. Like, this is a great comment, honestly. You're reflecting the going to provide valuable insight into both the strengths and areas that could be improved. Yeah, this is honestly great. This is a great post. I think this is a great post. I think it's super fair. I think the one thing I disagree on is like the difficulty thing, but even then I disagree with it. There's still a really interesting discussion that is super warranted about possibly adding different difficulties with different rewards. It's not a non-discussion or like an immediate, you know. A really good post. Thank you for taking the time. Thanks for playing PokeMMO Sendaya, and thank you for taking the time to make this forum post on top of it. You have no idea how much we appreciate and I appreciate new player perspective like this, and you worded everything very, very well and took your time. So thank you so much. I don't know, cool to see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully seeing new players perspective like this is always important and helps you every day. Like the video if you want to see more content like this. If you want to see more players perspectives, more forum posts going over like this, like the video. Dislike if you don't really like this kind of content, or I don't know, I was really bad for whatever reason. Subscribe if you want to see more videos every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams like this Monday through Friday. Discord down below. If you want to go above and beyond and financially support the content, there are plenty of links down below to do so. But have a great day. Peace, Areno.